You always know Alice Shattuck is very thrilled with a picture of herself.
That's actually not why I was laughing just now. I was laughing because I almost started to say check 1, 2 when you started to play the opening music.
I tweeted out a picture of Alice. She's got a red dress on. She's going to paint the town.
In Chelmsford, actually.
Chelmsford, home of Jerry Callahan. That's right. I was thinking of Joe Callahan, my friend.
Oh, I thought you were starting to say
Cullinane. No, Cullinane's from bizarre place like Norwell or something. That makes no sense. But yeah, so enjoy the party. You look like $1 million.
Thanks, honey.
You're looking hot these days, I gotta say.
You look good too.
Thank you. I don't get to party. I have parent duty. I have to take care of my kid as my kiddos. Mm-hmm. As my wife paints the town. Are you going to be absolutely bleep-faced tonight or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I'm actually going with someone who is attempting to cut back on drinking as well. So we're just going to both not. Yeah. We're going to both not drink.
Yeah, I know people like that too. Yeah, I know. Just tell me about it. Well, I'm in the middle of Sober October, so I can tell you.
We've done Sober October like 8 times already in October.
I know. All the Octobers. So I don't know exactly what to talk about because I am just out of my show, done with my show. And in my show, we talked about Connecticut had 2 police who were shot, ambushed. Did you know that?
Yes.
They were ambushed by 2 brothers, it looks like. I don't know the deal with these dudes, or what they're about, or whatever. But there was 3 cops altogether. 2 of them, one was shot dead unseen, one died at the hospital, and another one just got released from the hospital, which is good. But one of the shooters, the brothers, is dead, and one of them is alive.
It's crazy.
Ugh. Yeah, well, it's awful because it's not necessarily all that fun to do a show to talk about that because it's a day where you're just, kind of just emoting. Mm-hmm. I did yell at somebody, and I did swear, actually, during the... So we'll see what happens because of that. Probably nothing. But like, this guy is leaving 2 little kids and a kid on the way.
That's so rough.
35-year-old, yeah. Oh. Can you imagine? I mean, there's no imagining. That's why it's like... It's one of the hard things to do about, like, this story. There's nothing good to say.
Nothing good. There really isn't. It's a sad, awful story that shouldn't be happening.
So, okay, let's try to concentrate on lighter news.
Inflation?
The inflation numbers are up.
It's not that light either. It's not great news. The Fed's probably going to raise rates like 75 basis points again, which is...
Here's Rick Santelli.
Year-over-year strip-out food and energy also hotter than expectations, up 6.6. That follows 6.3, and 6.6 is a new high. The old high was 6.5 in March. That went back to 1982.
So it is what it is.
It's not good, obviously.
It's not good.
And the Democrats continue to pour fuel on the inflationary fire. Whether it's the federal government or state by state, they're just dumping more cash into the economy in a way that is so irresponsible. I mean, like, even the economists agreed when they were scoring the Inflation Reduction Act, so-called, that the thing was going to have inflationary pressures, especially in the near term. Like, what are we doing right now where this is happening? And there's a bunch of things go up, a bunch of things go down every time. So people love to be like, oh, well, fuel prices are down. Okay, well, the fuel prices might be down, and, used car prices went down again a little bit finally, right? But everything else then went up because this isn't
home heating oil is going up this winter. So
this isn't supply driven inflation. This isn't issues in the supply chain, although that's contributed here and there a bit. What the inflation is coming from is from money. It's coming from demand. You put money into consumers' hands and there's more consumer demand in terms of dollars. So they're going to spend it somewhere. So, and that's why no matter how they move the pieces around and say, like, well, we fixed this, we fixed that, we fixed the supply issue, we fixed the ports, no matter what happens, you're still going to end up with that excess demand that has to go somewhere in the economy. Like, it has to be spent on something. So it's going to It's going to inflate prices somewhere. And, you know, the Massachusetts gubernatorial debate, they had one last night. I don't know if you saw any of it or heard any buzz about any of it, but this was like a big thing. Of course, the Boston Globe is so stupid. They gave Geoff Diehl a D and Maura Healey an A.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great. Of course they did. That is great.
But I like for performance, but I almost feel like just the fact that they did that means they're worried about it, because it seems to me so clear. And obviously I'm going to a Diehl event tonight. Like, I'm obviously in the Diehl camp. So like, rah, rah, I have a team. I'm biased. But like, I thought that in the circumstances that people are actually living in here in reality, his points make so much more sense, because we can see what Democrat policies do. You know, everybody can feel it in their gas bill. Everybody can feel it in their grocery bill. Like, everybody can see it in their rent prices. So, you know, they did ask some questions about that, about affordability and stuff. And like, only one person can say that they're not on board with the policies that are making this that hard right now. Because of course Maura Healey is on board with everything Biden is doing. So, you know, she kind of hit him because he has the Trump endorsement a little bit, which, you know, is not a plus in Massachusetts, generally speaking. Although it certainly helped him in the primary. But, you know, he kind of threw it back at her and said, you want to talk about national politics? Because the guy you supported is causing this economic destruction right now for regular people. And I think that that's such an impossible point to refute at this point for Democrats, that I mean, it has to come off looking good. The only reason I think the debate isn't going to make that big a difference is because people aren't going to see or hear about it that much, because he was good. You know what I mean? Like, he was good. He raised great points. What was the thing? Oh, they asked him if he believes that Biden is really the president of the United States, like in case he thinks Trump is secretly the president or something. And he said, of course, Joe Biden's the president. Of course he won. Look at the economy. You can see it. Elections have consequences, you know? So, and again, like, I just think that that's a point that the Democrats have no answer for. You know, Maura Healey proudly said in that debate that she canceled 2 natural gas pipelines that would make gas cheaper here. You know, it's so like, how can that be their argument for the state? Like, how do people vote for that as the closing argument of the gubernatorial debate?
Driscoll?
What?
Maura Healey's running mate?
I don't even know
this person.
I don't even know her either, really. But yeah, I just, you know, and Geoff Diehl's able to say stuff like, I canceled the gas tax tied to inflation, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine with the inflation we're seeing today how high the gas tax would be? They have that in Maryland, you know. It went up like 26 cents or something because last year, because of all the inflation. It's going to go up again this year. And they can't do anything about it because by statute, it's tied to inflation.
Yeah.
So that's...
Yeah, the car tax in Connecticut is also...
tied to inflation? Yeah.
Indirectly. It's tied to the value of the cars, and cars have all been revalued, you know,
right,
as being more expensive. So people bought junk boxes a few years ago to not have to pay a car tax, and now having to fork over $500.
Yeah, it's I can't understand how people can vote for this agenda at this moment in time. But you know, it's Massachusetts, and nobody's doing like, I mean, not to like puff you up too much, but nobody's doing here like what you're doing in Connecticut.
You mean talk radio, AM?
I mean, like,
Howie, Grace?
I mean, like, making it like exciting and feeling like something's happening, and you know, putting candidates. I mean, Howie's decided to friggin' slam Geoff Diehl. So
I wonder if Grace is. What's Grace's?
I have no idea what Grace is doing, and I don't really listen to Cuner, but I find the whole thing so weird. Like, I feel like there's this vacuum of energy around the whole race in Massachusetts, around everything in Massachusetts, largely because the party is fighting with itself.
Yeah.
You know, and I really feel like Geoff has such a strong argument for why he should be governor. And if people would pay attention for a second, but like, I don't think anybody even knew that debate last night happened. Do you?
No, I mean I've totally checked out of Massachusetts politics, so I don't know.
Well, so have
anything.
a lot of people. I mean, it's frustrating.
I'm going to vote. Well, I'm going to vote for Geoff Diehl, obviously, and I'm going to.
Yeah, but
I'm going to vote for whoever you tell me to.
okay, but I just I don't know. I really thought he was so good last night.
Can I? Okay, go ahead.
That was it. That's all.
What is my schedule today? What am I doing?
Oh, it's busy.
Okay, I have a phone call with
At 4.
prospective employer. I mean, no, that's not what I'm doing at 4. I'm speaking to somebody though in the business.
Yes. So at as soon as our daughter gets here,
is this
we're gonna
person Erica Nardini?
No.
Okay.
So as soon as our daughter gets here,
is this person Benjamin Shapiro?
No. So as soon as our daughter gets here, you're gonna take her to her singing lesson. You're gonna
this afternoon.
Yes.
Okay, that's at 3:30 or 4?
3:30.
3:30, and then she's out at 4.
Yes.
And then I'm going to karate.
And then you're taking your call. Then we'll record another little segment of the burn barrel to stick to this one.
Jesus, what a way to live.
And then you're taking our other son to karate, and then I'm taking our other son
martinis,
and then I'm taking our other son to soccer. And then
soccer? That's happening?
Yes.
Do we have enough cars for this?
Yes.
So what is my job? My job is to go
singing lessons.
Singing lessons. That's
and
at 4.
Phone call, karate.
No, singing lessons is at 3:30.
Singing lesson is 3:30 to 4.
Okay.
Phone call.
Phone call.
Burn barrel part 2.
Burn barrel part 2.
Karate.
Okay.
And then you're here.
What about soccer?
Oh, you might have to pick up from soccer.
Okay. So.
Yeah, pick up
in
from
the
soccer.
car
with all the kids.
With the donut.
No, it still has the donut? I thought you were going to go get that fixed this weekend.
They were packed.
Oh.
Yeah. I have to go back.
Maybe we'll skip soccer then.
No.
It's an optional practice. Or I can get him a ride, maybe for soccer.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Holy God.
Happy Thursday.
Oh. And you're going to have martinis with the Republicans.
I'm not going to have a martini. I'm going to go see Scott Brown and the Diplomats.
Is Toast going to be there?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You're not talking to Toast?
I'm talking to Toast, but I don't.
What is this?
Jeez.
Say hello
Toast,
to Scott Brown. Tell him we want him on the air.
Scott Brown
Tell him we want him on the air.
Okay, I'll tell him we want him on the air. I'm sure he'd be happy.
Congratulate him on
He sometimes likes our Facebook posts, you know.
Good. Congratulations on his grandkids.
I will. I like his grandkids.
Good. We love Gail, too.
Yes, of course we do.
And we love Ayla.
Mm-hmm.
She's a really great kid. I mean, she's a woman, but she's just a lot of fun. She's pretty too, and so is the other daughter. What's the other daughter?
I forgot.
The other one looks more like Gail, I think. Doesn't matter. In case you're keeping track at home.
All right. What else is going on? The inflation is obviously terrible. Mm-hmm. There's Sally Shattuck in time for our singing lesson.
Oh, very nice.
So we'll get back to this conversation shortly. So we'll just pause here and then we'll be right back.
What time is the singing? 3:30?
3:30, yes.
Oh, I got to be there right now. All right.
Yeah, so it's time to head out.
All right. Sounds good. Oh. Right, we are back. Hi. You look lovely in your red dress.
Thank you.
You can really wear the hell out of a dress these days, you know that?
Thank you, honey.
All right, Alice.
Had to fix your lamp.
So I've just dropped my daughter off at music school.
Yeah.
Do I love it there?
Okay, well, why don't you do some research and find a different music school to take her to then?
It requires masks, among other things.
Well, okay. Why don't you do some research and find a different music school? She asked to take singing lessons. You can find one if you don't like this one. And but I have enough on my plate right now. I can't find a new music school. Okay.
I didn't realize you had so much on your plate. I'm sorry about that. I don't have anything on my plate. Who was the court reporter begging for Ja to allow us to live our lives this winter? What adult? It wasn't a court reporter. It was a White House press briefing room.
I think that was meant to be court, like as in royal court, kind of to say.
Really?
To say that they're like.
You think Replica Shattuck knows the royal court reference?
I don't know. I don't know. Someone in the White House press corps. I'm not sure. Okay. Well, anyway, so what I was going to talk about next was that the left is like still not letting go of this Fetterman thing they're still like trying to cast it that anybody who questions this is like ableist and ridiculous. So, I mean, I guess is this going to work?
What?
Like them just saying like you're not allowed to question that it's ableist to question if he's not okay to serve.
It is so.
It's just the same thing as glasses.
Interesting, just how badly behaved in petulant left is. By the way, Biden says we're making progress, even if prices remain too high. Inflation in the last 3 months has averaged 2% annualized. That's down from 11% the quarter before, but we have more work to do. Oh, now let me ask you something. Do you think that's going to work?
No.
This idea?
No.
I'm sorry. Right. Spaghetti sauce is spaghetti sauce.
Right.
Ragu brand spaghetti sauce, which was the crap, though delicious, of the spaghetti sauces, is now a more expensive spaghetti sauce.
Right. Right. And it's he's saying the last 3 months on average is doing a lot of work there because it's gotten higher over the last 2 months, the annualized. The month over month inflation has been higher. Remember they were celebrating back in like July or whatever that was. It was at the month over month was at 0.
Yes, yes.
And so they were like, no inflation. Congrats to us. We've done it. Good job, us. That was the month. It was like 9% year over year. And so they declared victory prematurely. So now since then, the month over month has gotten higher. So, but they're going back and saying, over the last 3 months, it averaged this. Well, yeah, but it's gotten bigger since then. So that's like a little bit of a problem. And inflation's like one of those things you can't fake. You can't make people feel like things aren't more expensive at the grocery store. You know what I mean? And the left is in denial about it because I see people like regular people on social media and they'll like blame Trump. Oh, the economy was like so messed up under Trump. It's because Trump did it and now Biden's fixing it. It's just taking a while. Okay. It's like the same junk they pull at the border where they're like, well, Trump broke the border, so we're just fixing it. No, you know what we didn't have a lot of was pictures of people in cages during the Trump administration. That's an Obama and Biden administration thing. Right. Yeah. Even during the Trump years, they used pictures that were from the crises back in the Obama years because they didn't have them from the Trump years. That Biden and Obama both are terrible on inflation. Biden possibly even worse than Obama. So now, but did you see that they've backtracked? Did you see the Bill Malugin update? So they've changed their policy now.
Oh, the Remain in Mexico thing is back now.
Sort of, yeah.
Title 42.
DHS announced that effective immediately, all Venezuelans caught crossing into the U.S. illegally between ports of entry will be returned to Mexico as part of a new joint action with Mexico. Previously, Venezuelan nationals were released into the U.S. Big change. At the same time, DHS says it will create a new process to lawfully and safely bring qualifying Venezuelans into the U.S. And they have all the qualifications. And so Bill Malugin says that Venezuelans have been crossing illegally in enormous numbers and they've been turning themselves in because they know that they're getting to stay. And so, but this policy is a reversal of that. So we'll see if now there's more people who are trying to actually evade Border Patrol rather than turning themselves in. So, but my thought immediately is like, this is entirely due to the DeSantis thing that we all got told was like a stunt and stupid and mean and all this stuff, a cruel joke and playing with people's lives. And but I think that's why the Biden administration is doing this. Like if you and because it raised the point, and at the same time you have like New York and Eric Adams and Muriel Bowser in DC complaining about how they're running out of services for all the people that the Biden administration is dumping on them, and then like the DeSantis thing just raised the profile of that whole issue in a way that I think makes it impossible for the Biden administration to continue this way, just releasing thousands and thousands of Venezuelans into the United States.
So do you think it's political to try to fend him off, take something off his plate for the elections?
Yeah, I think they're sick of I think they want for the next month before the election not to have headlines of cities complaining that there's thousands of migrants showing up there with who need services from them. Yeah. I think that's a really bad look, and they want to seem good on the border for the next month while they do that. And so they've backtracked on the policy because I think they've realized they look terrible on that issue.
Well, yeah, I agree, too. And they've got a problem here within all of the above awful news coming out of the White House.
Yeah. So between the inflation and the border.
They got some unpopular bills passed. Other than that,
yeah, they caused more inflation, so they did that. We got it done, guys. But I mean, the Inflation Reduction Act is a joke, and everybody knows that it's a joke because we can see that the inflation has not been reducted at all.
No, it hasn't. And not only that, but I think people can see now that a lot of these things, like for the eviction moratorium, even though the court said you can't do this anymore, and he did it again for Cory Bush, as long and the college debt forgiveness.
Yeah.
It's a nod. It's the most divisive thing you could possibly do, and it's a nod, but it's also
a debacle that's going to be tied up in the court. It's also
unraveling. I mean, right now they're changing it on the go.
Right.
They're exempting groups of people on the go based on whatever lawsuit is out there. So now it's essentially disappearing.
Right.
I mean, that
terrible.
shows.
Yeah, they're across the board in bad shape for things that they can talk about for this election. It's really and the fact that there's going to be shortages of COVID tests, energy costs are going to be up. They're trying to escalate into a nuclear war with Russia for some reason. All this stuff, none of this is popular or makes people like them. So I think that they know that they're in a really tough situation going into these midterms, and you can see it across the board. Even the Fetterman thing is so weird to me. I feel like they're just trying to drag him across the finish line, and they feel like they've got a better shot in the governor's race there. So they're hoping that they'll get a Democrat governor that can appoint a different senator after a little while, because they know, obviously. So, and I was seeing people speculate maybe that this NBC interview that's gotten so much criticism was that from AP is criticizing it, BuzzFeed's criticizing it, that it's so ableist and mean and all this stuff, right? They're still coming out with all these articles about it, but I almost think that MSNBC rather, doing the interview and mentioning this stuff is almost, Jorge Bonilla called it a controlled burn. They're trying to release a little bit to seem like they're really honestly reporting on it and to not shock people when he becomes a senator and can't speak English. So, but I mean, I don't know who needs to hear this, but strokes don't affect your ears. They affect your brain.
Right.
So the fact that he can't, it's not the same as a hearing aid.
It's an auditory process.
Auditory processing. This is and I mean, this is on, quote, my team, and I like John McCain, even though I know some people don't. But it's when they were saying oh, John McCain is getting this minor little eye surgery, but it was brain cancer.
Yeah.
But it's this is a way that they get out ahead of it, is by saying he's having some auditory processing difficulties, so he doesn't seem to understand what we're saying to him. But it's just very minor auditory processing, and he just needs closed captioning in order to do his thing. So that when
Kara Swisher, she said that she had a 2-hour conversation with him, and he was totally sharp. It's guys,
were you typing out the questions?
Right.
Your part of the conversation to him? I mean, that's great.
I hate Fetterman.
I know you do.
I hate him. I hate the way he looks and that he exists on the same earth as me. I hate him.
I know. You really don't like him. So yeah, that's.
Wait, are you going to be giving money? This is a fundraiser, right?
I'll give a little bit. Yeah.
Oh.
A little bit, not
good to know. My wife's in a cocktail dress, getting drunk around all these.
I'm not gonna get drunk. Jeez.
All these political sharks tossing $100 bills around.
No, that's not what's gonna happen. You're so. Please.
You do look great.
Thank you.
Buy influence
Well, I think the
for us,
Burn Barrel
Alice. Buy
listeners should
influence.
go to the event too and give
Yes, go
Geoff
meet
Diehl
Alice.
some money.
Look at this lady in the dress. You look great in the dress. I gotta tell you, it's kind of hard
thanks,
to keep
honey.
my paws off of you in a respectful manner.
I think you should try and keep your paws off me in a respectful manner.
Why aren't we betrothed?
I mean, like
Did I make purchase of
within
you?
reason, not like during the day when you're
What?
supposed to be on the air. Jeez.
Oh, forget it. No, you get priority over my things. Well, I'm gonna leave in 5 minutes, and then
You get to
and
go
then drive,
again
and
in
then
5
immediately
minutes.
get
Yeah.
on a phone call for perspective. Is it perspective or prospective?
No, you're just going to talk to somebody in the industry on the phone. That's it.
In the industry,
There's
that's
nothing-
right. I wonder if I'm being headhunted, Alice. Maybe
Maybe you are.
I'll be picked up. Go national.
Okay. We'll see what
Imagine
happens with that. We'll see what happens.
I just want to make enough money to afford to not have a donut on my car instead of a tire.
I told you
To
you
have
could do that
windshield
this
wipers.
weekend. I thought you already did it.
They were full up. And I also want to make enough money to go out to eat all the time and get a landscaper to fight back against nature.
Okay.
I don't want much.
I'll work on it, honey. Did you see the story I sent you about the Levi's jeans?
No. Or as my grandmother used to call them, Levis.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So these Levi's jeans were found in some like archaeological dig, basically. They're from the 1880s.
Oh,
They're
wow.
from a mine worker.
Makes sense.
So they just got sold in auction for some ungodly sum of money, like almost $90,000, I think somebody bought them for. It's kind of incredible that they're like this old and they look like you could just wear them. Like they look like regular jeans, but they're, 140 years old or whatever they are.
Oh my God. I look at the inscription.
Yeah, but the inscription on them, and this is so fascinating, on the interior, the pants bear the phrase, "the only kind made by white labor," printed on a pocket. According to a Levi's spokesperson, the company used the slogan following 1882's Chinese Exclusion Act, which barred Chinese laborers from entering the U.S. during a time of rampant anti-Chinese discrimination. Levi's subsequently adopted its own anti-Chinese labor policy, reflected in the "Made by White Labor" tagline on its products and in advertisements. In the 1890s, Levi's scrapped its policy and dropped the slogan, the spokesman said. The act was repealed in 1943 and condemned by
I think
Congress
somebody in
2011.
that boardroom should suggest they bring it back.
Yeah. Company representative said that Levi's today is wholly committed to using our platform and our voice to
I should
advocate
hope
for
so.
real equality and fight against racism in all its forms, company representative said.
I should hope so. That is ugly. That is ugly.
I mean, it is funny, though, obviously racism isn't funny, but it is funny that the left tries so hard to pretend that we're like all living right now in the most racist society known to humanity, and like that everybody's like trying to keep real history from people, when like if you actually go and look at the real history, you can see that it was way worse than it is now, and that now is like the most equal society with the most opportunity for the most people. And by the way, I think since all the discrimination and everything against them in the Chinese Exclusion Act and Levi's not wanting Chinese garment workers and everything else, I think the Chinese population in the United States has done really well for themselves, and good on them.
Yes.
I mean, I believe they
Yes.
do better than white people in the United States
Yeah.
now, if we're keeping score.
Yeah, I don't
So-
know too many manufacturing pants.
They don't have a donut on their car.
They don't have none of the car. No.
So, no, that's, I mean, I think it's incredible how far we've come. And I think that it's great that we're like finding stuff from our history and seeing stuff. And it's like neat to see. It's cool.
I love that. I
would
think this
not have
story is
guessed-
great, but I put it up against a thing that's terrible. So Connecticut is going around, and they are now exonerating, and they want to put it into law, exonerating all of the witches that were killed.
Yeah, we talked about this before, right?
Yeah. But now
It's
it's
moving
like
forward?
Yeah, like Biddy Goodhue or something. They want to make sure that because she was not given a fair trial and this and that. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that it just shows.
Oh no, I missed. For some reason, I'm not recording.
Oh, you're
Bummer.
not?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
okay.
I am. For some reason, it shows.
I'll use your sound and put
Okay.
it into the middle or whatever.
It shows like in 1670 or whatever. Mm-hmm. That was a real serious thing based on, it was a real temperature taking of the culture in the area, in the towns at that time.
Yep.
What was going on in the extreme mass hysteria, etc., that was going on. Now, and that's like not a good part of culture. Obviously, Biddy McClure was not actually a witch and whatever. But
How do you know she wasn't actually?
Well,
a
I'm
witch?
all for it. I said today that
know?
they should exhume all of these people and reburn their skeletons. That's what I said today. Because why not? And also,
I don't think we do know if people were witches or not.
But
like, what?
Okay, but see, like we're trying to do a 2022 fix for something that happened in 1492 in a time when we cannot possibly even imagine what day-to-day life was like in there.
Right.
It was freaking awful for one. But also, so now we're going to officially do something in the legislature that puts on the record how pathetic we are this year.
Right.
It's like we're more pathetic than 1460. I'm sorry.
Right.
We are. 2022 is much worse. I've got to go again.
You gotta go again. We'll record one more little segment in a little while.
So I'm coming back here then. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, we are back again. One final time, Ellis. Let's see. Just got off the phone with my influential, high-powered associate. Mm-hmm. Very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting what's going on. Okay.
That's good.
All right. Should we try the shot for a second?
Yeah, let's try
I
and
apologize,
get the shot
everybody.
in
This
here.
has just
this
been
day has been crazy, but we're trying to get something out there for you so that...
All right. Ready?
Yes.
8-6. Here we go.
Watching Tiny House Hunting, and this gay couple from Boston are looking in the woods of Wisconsin for a tiny home, but their budget is $300,000, and I've never even seen $300,000.
Yeah.
I'd be gobsmacked if I ever seen that much money.
Well, that's not how you do it, really. You get a predatory loan from a bank, and then you buy a house that you really can't afford, and then you hope the value goes up, and then you switch it for another house that you can't afford. That's how we did it.
Right.
So we've never actually seen $300,000, but we are certainly at least in $300,000 debt now, and we live in a house. So
that's the trade-off that we make. Pepper, stop touching them.
Yeah, I don't know what home they're gonna pick.
$300K seems like a lot of money for a tiny house in Wisconsin.
It does seem like a lot for that. Yeah, for sure.
Hello, Tom and Alice. This is Fudd. I'm a Rottweiler breed of dog, and my owner is Craig. I don't know if you heard recently on the Callahan show that Jerry Callahan was saying that all Rottweilers were murderous dogs. Mm-hmm. Well, I wish he would just know my character, not base it on...
It's funny you say that, because I actually have tweeted all pit bulls should be destroyed, and Craig came back at me angry that I did that. All right, let's go to the third message. I'm going to assume this is from a gentleman named Justin.
Tom, when you smoked weed, did you use a bong, or did you roll it like a cigarette?
I think
because when I do it, I use a bong, and I usually put ice in the bong because it's smoother on the throat.
So this was in the days. I have used a bong in my 20s. This was in the days. Probably I was mostly smoking. If I was smoking somebody else's stuff, usually they had smoked a bowl, I think. Other than that, I wasn't good at rolling joints, but we probably were smoking bowls. Probably, now that I think about it. I don't think I ever bought the paraphernalia. It wasn't. But you know what? Whatever works. Whatever works. All right, Alice, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so.
Sorry that this was a tough day, you guys, but
we've done important things. I'm taking my second to youngest song to karate, and then what's on my list?
That's it. Soccer's canceled.
Soccer's canceled
due to rain. So
okay,
that's all you got to do.
You know that Brussels sprouts, you're supposed to break those.
No.
No. You're not gonna. Oh, asparagus. I mean, you're supposed to break
you just take the ends off.
What ends?
You cut off the bottom part to the hard part.
Right. Did you do that?
Not yet.
But no, but you do it before you put them in the pan.
I just was setting them in the pan, okay? Calm down.
Setting them.
What's wrong with that? OBS is broken. I don't know.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, my goodness. All right.
But yes, we'll be back Sunday. We will see you then.
Maybe we should do
Exciting
something bonus.
times.
I feel like there's something else that I've got to do.
Well, you have to take your kid to karate. It's time
Karate,
for you to
okay.
leave. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. We'll be back on Sunday with more show. We'll see you then. You can, in the meantime, talk to us on social media at Burn Barrel Pod. We're also at facebook.com/Burn Barrel Podcast, and you can leave chat messages. Don't leave Justin alone leaving chat messages, guys.
Correct.
Come on, leave some messages. That's at burnbarrelpodcast.com. There's a red button you can use to record your messages. And you can email us, burnbarrelpodcast@gmail.com.
C'est la vie.